It's time for match week 10 of the 2017-18 Premier League season. There are so many things to talk about. We've got games to preview and news that did come out during midweek about this weekend in the Premier League. So without further ado, let's jump straight into it. 10 things you need to know before this Premier League weekend. Match week 10. If you do go on to enjoy today's video, make sure you go ahead and click that like button, subscribe. If you are new to the channel, make sure you also click on the notification button so you can be a part of the notification squad. Number 10. Koeman sacked. This was some huge news to come out on Tuesday, I think it was. Ronald Koeman was sacked by Everton. Koeman was dismissed on Monday after Sunday's 5-2 home defeat by Arsenal that left Everton in the Premier League relegation zone. Koeman has come out and said that he is disappointed at being sacked by Everton after 16 months at the club. In a statement, the Dutchman thanked the club's players and staff for all their work and commitment. He also went on to say, "I would like to thank the fans for their passionate support of the club." Koeman was sacked with Everton in 18th in the table with 8 points from their 9 league matches this season, and I did talk about it in last week's Premier League review. It was either Koeman or BILIќ. One of those managers were going to be sacked during midweek, and Koeman was that man. Now Everton have their under-23 manager David Unsworth. He'll be taking over as temporary manager for the moment. Number 9. Gunners to secure the 3 points. Arsenal are looking to go back-to-back Premier League wins as Swansea City travel to the Emirates on Saturday. The Gunners thrashed Everton 5-2 at Goodison Park last week, a result which led to the dismissal of the Toffees boss Ronald Koeman to climb into 5th in the table. Arsene Wenger's side followed that up with a EFL Cup victory over Norwich City. With Eddie Nketiah the hero off the bench, Swansea City at the moment in the Premier League are struggling. They are just above the relegation zone, so it should be an easy 3 points at home for Arsenal. Number 8. Can BILIČ save his job? Crystal Palace and West Ham face off on Saturday with vital Premier League points at stake for both London rivals. Palace are rock bottom in the table with last week's defeat at Newcastle United, tempering hopes of an immediate rise following a surprise 2-1 win over Chelsea that sends shockwaves in the Premier League, but a miserable 4-1 EFL Cup defeat at Bristol City on Tuesday night has put Roy Hodgson back under pressure to turn things around against West Ham. BILIČ has had a up and down week. Obviously last week they suffered a humiliating 3-0 loss at home to Brighton and Hove Albion. Then during midweek they had a come from behind win against Tottenham. They were 2-0 down in the EFL Cup and they were able to turn it around and make it a 3-2 win to advance into the next round of the EFL Cup. Number 7. Can Huddlesfield do it again? Huddersfield Town are looking for back-to-back Premier League wins against big sides. Last week, they defeated Manchester United 2-1. They're looking to do that again this week against Liverpool on Saturday. A quick-fire first-half double was enough to hand Manchester United their first defeat of the season. And Huddersfield have had a lot of praise this week about that win, but can they do it again against Jurgen Klopp's side? Liverpool had a humiliating defeat against Tottenham Hotspur last weekend, so they're looking to bounce back. At Anfield, Huddlesfield will face Liverpool, and I won't be surprised if Huddlesfield pick up the points. But anything could happen. Could Liverpool's defense finally show up and defend the way that they should do? It's something we're all going to have to wait and find out this weekend. Number 6. How many will City score? Well, it's something I say in every Premier League preview. How many goals will City score this weekend? Manchester City travel to the Hawthorns on Saturday looking for a 12th straight Premier League win over West Brom. City are at the top of the Premier League table with a remarkable 32 goals after just 9 games, and they've only dropped 2 points this season. They sit 5 points clear at the top of the table, and Tony Pulis says he has approached the game differently as he juggles a few West Brom injury concerns. It should be another comfortable win for Manchester City this weekend. Number 5. Can Chelsea rise up the table? Chelsea continued their Premier League title defence away at Bournemouth on Saturday. The champions came from behind at Stamford Bridge to defeat Watford 4-2 last weekend, but Antonio Conte's defence has been leaking goals as of late as they struggle to match the form that they were in last season when they did go on to win the league. The Blues already trail league leaders Manchester City by 9 points, and the way that they were playing last week, they were lucky that they're not 12 points behind Manchester City at the moment. And Eddie Howe's Cherries, Bournemouth, are in the relegation zone and they're looking to jump out of that. Number 4, will Brighton continue the momentum? Brighton produced an incredible win at London Stadium last week, hammering West Ham 3-0, which moved them within 1 point of the league's top half. The Seagulls are currently flying high, having secured a solid 7 points from their last 5 league games, but they'll be facing Southampton this week, and Southampton were also victorious during game week 9, match week 9 of the Premier League, and they'll be looking for another win, this time against Brighton. But if Brighton put on a performance like they did last week against West Ham at the London Stadium, it could prove difficult for Southampton to get the win against the Seagulls. Number 3, new manager, new result. I said this last week and it actually worked out for Leicester City. Despite back-to-back wins for caretaker manager Michael Appleton, he was not good enough to secure a full-time managerial role at Leicester City, as Claude Puel will be coming in as Leicester City head manager. Puel will look to build on Saturday's win over Swansea as Leicester look to start a mounting charge up the table. Everton returned to the Premier League first time since the dismissal of Ronald Koeman, having spent around £140 million in the summer. The Toffees are sat in the bottom 3 after 9 games played. For the time being, David Unsworth is the man to lead the Blues, having been appointed the caretaker manager. Number 2, Kane out. And it's time to preview the huge upcoming clash between Manchester United and Tottenham. But before we talk about the actual game, there's a huge injury. Harry Kane will not be able to play for Tottenham Hotspur against Manchester United at Old Trafford. He will be missing with a hamstring injury. This is huge. Spurs travel to Old Trafford for the lunchtime kickoff with their star man set to watch on from the sidelines. Harry Kane has scored a league-high 8 goals in the Premier League this season. Kane has scored 17 times in just 13 games for club and country this season, and he looked to be in pain towards the end of Tottenham's 4-1 win over Liverpool last weekend. And because of that, he will miss the huge clash against Manchester United. And number 1, game of the week. It is second versus third in the Premier League table. Tottenham face another stern test of their title credentials against Manchester United on Saturday. We'll have to do it without top goal scorer Harry Kane. Pochettino came out and said Harry Kane's chances of facing United is impossible. Because of that, Kane will be missing the game. Pochettino must now rethink his strategy, but will be impressed with his squad's flexibility in recent weeks. Even though they had a 3-2 loss against West Ham in the EFL Cup, Spurs have been in a good run of form. United, on the other hand, had a disappointing 2-1 loss to Huddlesfield last week, and then had a 0-0 draw to Liverpool the week before. So at the moment, United can ill afford to drop points this weekend. The teams head into Old Trafford level on points, even though Manchester United have a superior goal difference, and it is the game that is going to kick off this weekend. It's huge. It's United versus Tottenham, second versus third, and I can't wait to see what is going to happen. And that is the 10 things you need to know before this Premier League weekend, match week 10. If you did enjoy the video, give it a like, subscribe if you are new to the channel, and I'll see you all later on today with another video.